Yeah, hi guys. Welcome to my channel. That is UGSNet JRF88. So this channel is specially dedicated to the candidates who are writing the UGSNet Electronic Science course. Not only to the UGSNet examination, but to all the candidates who belongs to the electronics and communication related candidates. So it will be a very good channel to build up your basic concepts as well as advanced concepts also. So, in the yesterday video, I did the basic electronic part one, that is on resistors. And before moving to the capacitors and inductors, that one more topic I want to clear, that is today's topic, part two. So, what is this part two is that what is the conventional current direction and what is the original current direction? What is the difference between both these two and why both these two are in opposite? Okay, because most of the students are getting confused that if the electrons are going at one side, why we are taking the current direction at the other side. Okay, and what is the difference between both this? So that is what we are going to say in this video. Fine. So before going into the main content of this video, one small announcement is that if you guys are preparing for the UGS NET Electronic Science December 2023 cycle, then I'm providing the one intense Super 30 UGS NET Electronic Science course. So in this course, the paper 1 and paper 2, both these two will be covered. And Super 30 means only the first 30 registered candidates will be opted for this course. So if you are the 31st candidate, then I'm not going to take, because only to 30 candidates I'm going to focus. So here, if you want to express your interest to register for this course, then here the WhatsApp number is also provided. So 8639439984. So you can first, you first WhatsApp me. I will provide you the details within 1 week. Okay. And here the 100% money back policy is also there. So what it means is that whatever the topics I covered, I'm going to cover in this course. If those topics are not up to JRF cutoff, then definitely our 100% money will be returned. So I'm having that much of confidence that in my course I'm going to cover all the concepts, okay, which you can crack the JRF. You just need JRF. So from my side, I'm covering all the things, okay, and the rest of the cracking the JRF means the rest of the part depends upon how much intense you are practicing regarding the UGS NET examination, okay. But what is this 100% money back policy is that in my course, whatever the topics I'm covering, if that those are not up to JRF cutoff, okay, for example, if the JRF cutoff is 65 percentage, that means if the 65 percentage of the concepts I did not cover, okay, means definitely your money will be refunded. Okay, fine. So few more details I will come up in the one more week regarding the rules and regulations and all. So as if right now I'm just announcing this much part only. So if you are interested, then you may join, guys. But first 30 members only I'm going to take for this course. Okay. So now while coming to the present topic, as I already told that today we are going to discuss about the what is the original current direction and what is the, just wait a minute. What is the original current direction and what is the conventional current direction? Okay. So coming to this one, first of all, what is the current? So how can we define the current? So first, let's see about that current. How can we define the current? So let's dig into the depth. Current means generally we will tell that flowing of free electrons. Sorry, generally we will call as a flowing of electrons. Am I correct or not? Current can be defined as a flowing of electrons, right? So now if I'm talking about the flowing of electrons means then which type of electron? So here the two different types of electrons usually we will tell. So one is a valency electrons and another one is a free electron. So which type of electron it is? That's what we need to check. So what is this valency electron and what is this free electron? Means let's again go to the atomic structure. atom. So usually how can we draw the atom is that we will be having one nucleus, and surrounding this nucleus few orbits will be there, and the number of orbits of any one atom depends upon the how many number of electrons it is going to accommodate. The number of electrons an atom is going to accommodate depends upon the its atomic number. For example, if I tell that the silicon atomic number is 14, okay, means silicon is having the 14 number of electrons will be there, and its configuration based upon the formula, that is 2n square. Okay, 2n square. And what is this 2n square? Means, see, have a look here. N represents the which orbit? So it is the first orbit, right? So in the first orbit, n is 1. So 2 into 1 square is equal to 2. That means in first orbit, how many electrons we are going to accommodate? 2 electrons. So 1 electron and 2 electron. Okay, and if it is a second orbit, right? So in second orbit, 2 into in the second orbit, n value will be 2, right? So we can take the 2 square. So in 2 into 2 square becomes is equal to 8. That means in the second orbit, we can take the 8 number of electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I'm talking with respect to the silicon, here how many number of what is atomic number of the silicon? I told 14, right? So here already first orbit is having the 2 electrons, second orbit is having the 8 electrons, and what are the rest electrons? Rest are 4. Why? Because 2 plus 8 plus 4 is equal to 14. Okay. So in the third orbit, only 4 electrons will be there. Correct? So with the help of this formula, we can able to accommodate the number of electrons as per the in which orbit you want to find out how many number of electrons. This formula will be helpful. So now it is having the 14 number of electrons, and out of the 14 number of electrons, 4 electrons are in the outermost orbit. Correct? And 10 electrons are inner orbits. Now carefully focus on my words. The outermost orbit, whatever the outermost orbit I am speaking, that is 4 number of valency electrons. Okay. So the electrons which are locating on the outermost orbit of an atom, that is called as a valency electron. So for silicon, how many number of valency electrons it is having? 4 number of valency electrons the silicon is having. So all of you understood? Okay. Now we understood what is the meaning of valency electron. So what exactly the valency is? That the definition, sorry, the Oxford meaning of valency is that ready to go. Ready to go. What the meaning of why we are calling as a valency means ready to go? Because see, if you are speaking with respect to the energies, okay, if the first whatever the electrons are locating in the first orbit, let's take the energy of these electrons or E1, and the electrons locating in the second orbit energy is E2, and the electrons locating in the outermost orbit is E3, then we can take it as like this. The comparison of the energies of the electrons can be taken as like this. What it means is that the valency electrons are having the highest energy comparing with the remaining orbital electrons, and whatever the orbit is very closer to the nucleus, that orbit is having the least energy. I mean that orbital electrons are having the least energy. So you should know about this concept also. So what I'm trying to tell is that if the electrons are moving, or else if the whatever the electrons are locating far away from the nucleus, like outermost orbital electrons, those electrons are having the high amount of energy, and whatever the electrons are very nearer to the nucleus, those are having the least amount of energy. Now what is this valency? Means ready to go. Whatever the electrons are having the high amount of energy which are locating on the outermost orbit, they are just ready to go if you give some additional energy. Understood? For example, if the E1 is 2 joules, E2 is 4 joules, and E3 is 6 joules. Okay, that means for example I'm taking, that means the outermost orbital electrons are having, as per my example, 6 joules is there. And if you give some additional energy, what is this additional energy and how we are giving means additional energy might be thermal energy, it might be electrical energy, it might be mechanical energy, it might be optical energy, whatever the different types of energy it might be. So if you are giving some type of additional energy, Then due to this additional energy, if the outermost orbit is absorbed 2 more joules from this additional energy, now already it is having 6 joules, and now it absorbed the 2 joules of energy from the from the external energy. Now it becomes is equal to 8 joules. Now this 8 joules of energy of this outermost orbit will not stay in the atom. Now what will happen? This electron get out of the atom. Okay, whenever the electron get out of the atom due to absorption of the external energy, then that electron is called as a free electron. Okay, that's why I told as a valence is nothing but a ready to go. Understood? So now you got some points, right? So, and coming to the, I told that now you got the idea between what is a free electron and what is a valency electron. So valency electron means the electrons which are locating inside the atom and in the outermost orbit. Free electron means free electrons are not locating inside the atom, but they are inside the material only. Are you understanding the difference? I am telling that inside the material. What is the meaning of that definition? Inside the material means if you take any one material as like this, it is having the so many number of atoms are there, right? So out of this so many number of atoms, what will happen is that one electron came out of the atom. Another electron, another electron, another electron came out of the atoms. But these electrons are came out of their respective atoms, but they did not came out of the material, right? That concept is different, emission, that we will discuss in the next part of the basic electronics. Okay, so now these electrons are inside the material only, but outside the atoms. So these electrons are called as a free electrons, and these free electrons are responsible for the conduction or the current. Okay, so from now onwards, if anybody asks you that how can you define the current, means current is not just simply flowing of electrons. Current is nothing but a flowing of free electrons. Okay. Okay. Now we understood about the current very clearly. And one more justification I want to do is that free. Why we are calling as a why? Because I already justified why we are calling as a valency and what is the meaning of valency. Now why we are calling as a free means focus on any one electron. Okay, let's take this electron only. Whenever any one electron is inside the atom, then that electron is continuously under the influence of the two different types of forces which are exhibiting by the nucleus, and those two different types of forces are, one is the centripetal force towards the nucleus, another one is a centrifugal force outside the away from the nucleus. Are you understanding? So whenever any one atom is inside the, any one electron is inside the atom, then that electron is under the influence of two different forces. One is a centripetal force, which is towards the nucleus, and another one is a centrifugal force, which is out away from the nucleus. Are you understanding? So these two different types of forces will perfectly balance that electron to move in that particular orbit. Now, whenever the valence electron came out of the atom, now this electron is completely free from the centripetal and centrifugal force of this nucleus of the parent atom. Are you understanding my point? That's why we are calling as a free. If you are inside your home, you are continuously under the influence of your mother and father. Of course, if you are a married, means it is a highly influencing of the spouses, right? So whenever if you came out of the house, means then you are just like a free. Okay. So here that is a concept. So that's why we are calling as a free electrons, which are completely free from the centrifugal and the centripetal forces. Fine. One more extension is there, but that extension we'll see later. As if right now, just try to understand what is the current, what is the valence electron, and what is the free electron, and how can we define that. And from now onwards, we have to say that current is nothing but a flowing of free electrons, right? Now, what is this original current direction? And what is the conventional current direction? That's what we're going to see, okay? So, here original current direction means basically if the electrons are flowing in this direction, if the electrons are flowing in this direction, now I'm going to take the current. Electrons means what? Free electrons. Understand? Electrons means free electrons. So the electrons are flowing in this direction, then I'm going to take the current also in this direction. Okay. And for example, if the electrons are flowing in this direction, now I will take the current also in this direction. Now this current is called as a original current direction. I hope that you are understanding. Original current direction means it always towards the flowing of electrons only. Now what about this conventional current directions? Let's have a look. If the electrons are flowing in this direction, then I will take the conventional current direction as opposite to the flowing of electrons. And if the electrons are flowing in this direction, then I will take the conventional current in this direction. So conventional current directions are opposite to the flowing of electrons direction. Most of the cases we are following the conventional current directions only, not the original current directions. Okay. I mean, how I can tell this concept is that, see guys, carefully observe. Usually you might be very, very aware about this concept. Like if I take something like this, it is a resistor and it is a positive polarity of the battery, it is a negative polarity of the battery. We will take the current directions from where to where? Generally, I'm telling. Generally in textbooks and all, from positive to, we will take to a negative. We will take as like this, right? But I mean, this direction is called as a conventional current direction. But because basically the original current direction flows from negative to positive. Try to understand clearly. Original current direction flows from negative to positive. Why? Because negative polarity of the battery is nothing but a excess of electrons. Positive polarity of the battery is nothing but a deficiency of electrons. Okay. So negative to positive, it is, that means it is the original current direction, which is why, because electrons are coming from the negative polarity. Here electrons direction also in this way and original current direction also in the same direction. But if you are speaking with respect to the conventional current direction, means it is always from where to where? Positive to negative. Okay. Conventional current direction is from positive to negative. And now itself you can observe that original current direction and conventional current direction, both these two are in opposite way. Okay. Now why we are taking as like this? What is the reason behind this? Original current direction is along the electrons direction, conventional current direction is along the opposite to the flowing of electrons. Why this confusion? We can take the original current direction, right? Okay, let's conclude this topic with this one. So yes, basically, Benjamin Franklin was one of the famous scientists, and he was also declared, once upon a time, he was also declared as a father of electronics. Okay, something. So what he told is that he thought that out of the positive and negative polarities of a battery, he thought that positive is the high concentration, negative is the low concentration. Okay. In the universe, everything has to flow from high concentration to low concentration. Am I correct or not? So if you take any something, okay, let's take the dam construction. So high concentration of water. If we open the gates, then the water will flow from high concentration to low concentration areas. It is a nature. And with this concept only, we are getting the water from the lakes and rivers and all, right? So whatever the rivers and the lakes, rivers are there, they are moving the water from high concentration to low concentration areas. On that basis, they are moving, okay, from the top to down of the India, right? So Benjamin Franklin thought that the positive is the highest concentration and negative is the low concentration. So that's why the current is flowing in this direction based upon the Benjamin Franklin concept. He thought that positive is the high and negative is the low. But later scientists mathematically they proved, what they proved is that no, negative is the high concentration of electrons. Okay, positive is the low concentration of electrons. So definitely the electrons that means the current has to flow in this direction. So now what happened is that by this time, I mean, by this concept proposed, already Benjamin Franklin was a famous scientist and he already declared as with some famous title also. Okay, so later onwards, what they did is that after getting the results of both these two, after getting the results of both these two, everybody is getting the same answer. What is the meaning of same answer means? Let's take the 4 volts here, 2 ohms here. Now what is the current here? Current is equal to 4 divided by 2, that means 2 amperes you will get. In which direction? This direction. If you take in the opposite direction, if it is 4 volts and 2 ohms, then also you will get the current as 2 amperes as per the Ohm's law. 4 divided by 2. There is no change in the magnitude of the current. Of course, there is a change in the direction of the current, whatever they're taking. So, based upon the same magnitudes of the currents, now what they did is that without dissatisfying the Benjamin Franklin's concept, they proposed that it is the original current direction which is flowing from high concentration of negative polarity. What is the meaning of high concentration? Negative polarity is having the high concentration of electrons, positive polarity is having the low concentration of electrons, means deficiency of electrons. So high to low it is moving. And they later, in order to not to dissatisfy the Benjamin Franklin, they kept that it is the original current direction, and the Benjamin Franklin proposed the conventional current direction, which is opposite to the flowing of electrons. Understood? So by this video, by this class, you must understood that what is the current, what is the valence electron, and what is the free electron. Okay, and on what formula we're going to decide the number of electrons present in any one particular orbit. Okay, and what is this original current direction, what is the conventional current direction, why both these two are opposite, and how come the Benjamin Franklin came into picture. Okay, so it is what you need to understand. This concept is also very, very important as per our UG Senate examination point of view. So many times in the previous UG Senate papers, okay, like in the previous means 2000, 17, 15, 16, in that time we got few of the questions based upon this topic, but it is a basic electronics topic that you should know or understand. Okay. Hope that all of you understood this concept, and if you are having any doubts regarding this concept, you just put your query in the comment section that we will discuss. Okay. So in the next class, we are going to see the one more basic electronics, that is the concept of capacitor. Okay. So before finishing this video, one more time, I'm just telling that if you are seriously preparing for the UG Senate Electronic Science course, then join in this Intense Super 30 UG Senate Electronic Science course, where the paper 1 and paper 2 both these two are going to deal by me. And before finishing this video, myself, I'm Ashwini Kumar, Unacademy ex-educator of UG Senate Electronic Science as well as the paper 1. And show your interest for this course by WhatsApp me to this number. Okay, 86394 39984. Thank you very much for watching the video, and all the best to you guys.